All right, so number one, it says use the method of substitution to solve the following system of equations. So we have two equations, and substitution just means we want to plug one value into the other. So they already give us the y value, and this is usually what happens when you solve by elimination. You end up finding a value for one of them, y equals -12. So this is the equation of a horizontal line. If it was graphed, it would look something like, here's the x-axis and y-axis. At -12, you have just a horizontal line crossing y at -12. Okay, so we just got a horizontal line there. And then the second equation that we're given is 7x plus 3y equals -43. So with substitution, they just basically want you to replace or substitute one value into the other equation. So since I know that y is equal to 12, I'm going to plug in, y is equal to -12. I'm going to plug in a -12 in the second equation for y. I'm going to substitute, and then that will allow me to have one equation with one variable, and I will be able to solve for x. So using substitution, we have 7x plus 3, and instead of y, I'm going to write 3 times a -12. So here's the substitution right here, equals -43. And then from here we'll solve. So we get 7x, 3 times -12 will give us a -36, and that's going to equal a -43. We would add 36 to both sides to isolate the x variable. That will go to 0, bring down 7x. And then when we subtract here, that will give us a -7. And then we divide by 7. And 7 divided by 7 is 1, so we get x equals a -1. So we have x value, we have a y value. I didn't graph that other line, but the solution to this system equation will be the ordered pair -1 for x and then -12 for y. So substitution, you're just going to substitute or replace one value with another. So this solution has one solution, and it is -1, -12. All right. Number 2 wants to use substitution as well, so it's very similar, except we're given x equals some number. So given -3x minus 2y equals -34. Now, as you see, we have a -x equals a -42. So likewise, that means positive x equals positive 42. And you always want to try to write your x in the, or whatever your variable is. It could be x or y, but it needs to be positive at the end of the day. So we're looking at positive x equals 42. That's what we're going to substitute in. So one value, x is 42. That's part of my solution. I'm going to substitute -3. The x, I'm going to substitute 42 there. Minus 2y equals -34. So -3 times 42 is going to give us a 126 negative, minus 2y equals -34. So we're going to add this -126. We'll add 126 to both sides to cancel that out. Bring down the -2y. Subtract here, it will give us 92. Divide by 2, or negative 2. And this will give us y equals negative 46. So we have y equals negative 46, x equals 42. We have a value for x and y, so my solution would be the ordered pair 42 for x. And see how y is positive is going to give us a negative 46. So when I'm saying the variable needs to be positive at the end, when you just have x equals or y equals, the variable on the left needs to be positive. If you wrote this as a negative x and a negative 42, it wouldn't give you the correct solution. So one solution, 42 and negative 46.